The life and sad ending of Phil Harris. Wonga Philip Harris was born on June 24, 1904, in Linton, Indiana, but grew up in Nashville, Tennessee, and identified himself as a Southerner. His parents were circus performers. His father, a tent band leader, gave him his first job as a drummer with the circus's band. He had a trace of a Southern accent, and in later years made self-deprecating jokes over the air about his heritage. Harris began his music career as a drummer in San Francisco, forming an orchestra with Carol Loeffner in the later 1920s, and starting a long engagement at the St. Francis Hotel. The partnership ended by 1932, and Harris led a band in Los Angeles for which he was the singer and band leader. During the mid-1920s, he played drums in the Henry Halstead Big Band Orchestra. In the 1930s, Loeffner Harris recorded swing music for Victor, Columbia, Decca, and Vocalion. In 1933, he made a short film for RKO called So This Is Harris, which won an Academy Award for Best Live Action Short Subject. He followed with a feature-length film, Melody Cruise. Both films were created by the same team that produced Flying Down to Rio, which started the careers of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. He also starred in I Love a Bandleader, 1945, with Leslie Brooks. Here, he played a house painter who gets amnesia, then starts to lead a band. He recorded Woodman, Spare That Tree by George Pope Morris and Henry Russell in 1947. His nickname was Old Curly. In 1950, Harris recorded a hit novelty song entitled The Thing, which hit #1 on the charts. Additionally, he appeared in The Wild Blue Yonder, aka Thunder Across the Pacific, 1951, alongside Forrest Tucker and Walter Brennan. He made a cameo appearance in the Warner Brothers musical Starlift with Janice Rule and Dick Wesson, and was featured in The High and the Mighty with John Wayne in 1954. In his radio career, in 1936, Harris became the musical director of the Jell-O Show, starring Jack Benny singing and leading his band, with Malin Merrick writing much of the show's music. When Harris showed a knack for giving snappy one-liners, he joined the cast, portraying himself as a hip, hard-drinking Southerner whose good nature overcame his ego. In 1942, Harris and his band enlisted in the U.S. Navy, and they served until the end of World War II. In 1946, Harris and wife Alice Faye began co-hosting the Fitch Bandwagon, a comedy variety program that followed the Jack Benny Show on Sunday nights. On the Fitch Bandwagon, and its later incarnation as the Phil Harris-Alice Faye Show, Harris played a vain, stumbling husband, while Faye played his sarcastic but loving wife. Gerald Nachman has written that Harris was a soft-spoken, modest man off the air. In On the Air, the encyclopedia of old-time radio, John Dunning writes that Harris's character made the show popular. The Phil Harris-Alice Faye Show appeared until 1954. Harris continued to appear on Jack Benny's show from 1948 to 1952. In his recording career, Harris was recording songs as early as 1931. Songs by Harris include the early 1950s novelty song, The Thing. The song describes the hapless finder of a box with a mysterious secret and his efforts to rid himself of it. Regarding his later career, in 1956, Harris appeared in the film Goodbye, My Lady. He made numerous guest appearances on the 1960s and 1970s television series, including The Steve Allen Show, The Kraft Music Hall, Burke's Law, F Troop, The Dean Martin Show, The Hollywood Palace, and other musical variety programs. He appeared on The American Sportsman, which took celebrities on hunting and fishing trips around the world. Harris worked as a voice actor for animated films, providing the voice of Baloo the Bear in The Jungle Book, 1967, Thomas O'Malley in The Aristocrats, 1970, and Little John in Robin Hood, 1973. In 1989, he reprised his role as Baloo for the cartoon series Tailspin, but after a few recording sessions, he was replaced by Ed Gilbert. Harris's final film role was in Rock-a-Doodle, 1991. Harris spent time in the 1970s and early 1980s leading a band that appeared often in Las Vegas, often on the same bill with band leader Harry James. In his personal life, on September 2, 1927, he married actress Marisha Ralston in Sydney, Australia. They had met when he played a concert date. The couple had a son, Phil Harris Jr., born 1935. Harris and Marcia divorced in September 1940. Harris and Alice Faye married in 1941. It was a second marriage for both. Faye had been married briefly to singer-actor Tony Martin and lasted 54 years until Harris's death. Sadly, Harris died of a heart attack at his Rancho Mirage home on August 11, 1995, age 91. He is interred at Forest Lawn Cemetery, Cathedral City, California. In 1994, a Golden Palm Star on the Palm Springs Walk of Stars was dedicated to him.